Alright, so today I'm going to pull off my injectors, which are right in here. There's 6 of them. First thing I'm going to do is go in the car. So I'm going to start the car, and then this panel under here that has all these fuses, I am going to pull the fuse that goes to my fuel pump, let it run out, and then after I do that, I'm going to go unhook the battery and start pulling them out. So let me start her up, let the car die from lack of fuel, and then we'll start pulling out. To start pulling them out will be, there's these bolts, there's one in the front and one in the back that hold on the rail. I'm gonna have to pull off this hose, unhook all the lines. So let me start out and then I'll show you halfway through. All right, so I started the car, pulled the fuse, it died. I took off my ground. So I took off all of these bolts. There's 3 of them that hold the wiring harness. I took off the 2 bolts. There's one here, there's one in the back for the fuel rail so that I could pull it up. I unhooked all 3 sensors back here for your TPS and everything else. So now inside here is a clip that clips on this plug. So if you look, there is a clip that's supposed to go in there. So right here are these small little clips that clip in to plug the harness into the injector. I pulled off all the clips, and then once you pull off those little clips, then you can just pull off this plug off the injector. I'm able to lift up enough that I'll be able to push the injector into the cylinder head and off of the rail so that I can just slide it out. So as you can see, I got the first one out, covered up. A little bit of fuel does come out of the rail, very little, but I'm trying to protect my intake manifold. As you can see, the paint's already starting to come off, but I don't want it to be completely stripped of paint, so I'm trying to cover it up with paper towels the best I can. I'm gonna have some paper towels to shove into the hole areas for the injectors once I pull them out. So let me pull everything out. I'll show you what they look like in the bag and what it will look like afterwards once everything's out. Okay, so I was able to pull all the injectors out. I just stuck paper towels in just to cover up the holes so that nothing falls in. Protect my intake manifold as well, protect my valve covers. If you look, see all my injectors here, you want to make sure, right, so the top has 2 rubber O-rings, as you can see, a big one and a small one. There is a bottom one that goes into the head. Those were all still in the head. They did not come out with the injector. So I just used a little pick, a small little pick, just to pull the edge out, and then I was able to pull them out all with my fingers. I made sure I got all 6. So there's 6 O-rings on the top, 6 in the middle, and 6 on the bottom. So make sure you get all the old O-rings off. I'm gonna take these to a local place near my house that flows and tests and everything injectors. Hopefully that will help with this stutter problem I'm having under boost. And yeah, so that's the video. I'll do another video of me putting everything back together, torquing down the bolts, you know, and then putting the fuse and my ground back on and starting her up. So stay tuned for that. All right, I got my injectors back from AUS. As you can see, on 100% duty, cycle, there was a huge difference, you know, high 450, low 315. Wasn't horrible at idle, it wasn't great, but yeah, at 100% it was bad. So they cleaned them, new nozzles, new tips that squirt the fuel into the head, new O-rings. So I had them knock that out, they cleaned them. So I you know, used Vaseline on the O-rings, pretty normal. So there's 3 on each, 3 O-rings on each. So I stuck them in, put the caps on. I put the harness in first so that I could get the little clip in, and make sure, you know, I tugged on all of them before I stuck them in my head. So I've checked all 6 of them, just put them in. I torqued down the 2 bolts for the rail. The manual says 12 to 15 foot-pounds. I did 13. It's in there pretty good, you know, not moving. So I gotta plug in the plugs in the back, my TPS sensor, you know, hook up my hose to the intake side. So yeah, let me knock that out really quick. And then after that, I gotta put my battery negative terminal back on, and then she should be good for us to start. And after we start it, we gotta check for leaks. You will see Vaseline on there, which is no big deal, but you wanna make sure that there's no fuel squirting out. So pretty easy. I don't think there's gonna be any problems, but always good to check. So I'll start it up, check it, then I'll go run it for a while and then check again. So give me a minute and I'll show you the once it's done. All right, so I buttoned up everything, put the screws into this part of the plastic that holds the harness, hose on the inlet side, plugs, the 3 plugs in the back, my ground. I also wiped it down with Simple Green. I am going to one more time look with a flashlight, just make sure that everything looks good on the rail, that the injectors look good, and then I will come back and I'll start it up with you guys and let you see how it sounds. All right, it might be kind of hard to hear me, but I started her up. I'm checking for leaks. So as you can see, might be hard to tell on camera, but I've been checking. No leaks, everything looks good. Doesn't look like any problem. Might be able to hear me a little better now. Engine's cold, oil pressure is good. So looks good so far. I'm gonna take it for a test drive, test it out, but pretty straightforward for the most part. Thanks for watching.